guys, it's Hans here with Angler's Covey.
And this is John with Angler's Covey.
And today, welcome back to our gear spotlight. We're going to be talking leaders and tippet.
The terminal tackle. So back in the day, we used to have to use different gauges of tippet or leader material to actually build a leader. So we'd go from a heavy gauge clear down to a smaller gauge, whatever we were trying to fish. Well, with the invention of tapered leaders, we don't have to do that anymore. It's always best to have less knots in your system, then you have less potential failure points. So the tapered leaders are widely available, and yeah, they're just kind of too easy.
They do make your life a whole lot easier, and there are tons of different types of tapered leaders, and we carry them from all the different major manufacturers. Three specific types of fishing that we're generally going to be doing is dry fly fishing, nymphing, and streamer fishing, right? Well, we have leaders that are going to cater to all those specifics. So you've got your Rio Supple Flex, which is going to be a better option if you're tending to dry fly fish more often. The Power Flex from Rio is going to be much better at turning over a nymph rig with an indicator. And then they also have a big nasty leader, which is short and stout, made for throwing that big stuff. And John's going to touch on some stillwater leaders.
Yeah, and with leaders and tippet, you have your option of fluorocarbon or nylon. So for stillwater, I like to actually mix that up. I like to use nylon leaders for their suppleness, and then I like to use fluorocarbon tippet. Typically, it's not too hard to think stillwater, think your regular nymph rig, but just beef everything up. I don't really ever use anything under 3X unless I'm throwing dry flies. And I also like the 12-foot leaders. A lot of times in our lakes, we're having to get down really deep. This gives me a lot more versatility in doing so.
Now, as far as shelf life goes on your leaders and tippet, they're going to tend to last a whole lot longer if you keep them in a cool environment. So you want to keep them as they're stored in your house where the temperature is going to be moderate. You want to avoid keeping tippet and leader in your car or garage if it's not climatized where it gets real hot. You want to avoid keeping your leaders in those places because that's going to tend to degrade them faster. Also, for the most part, fluorocarbon is going to have a bit more of a shelf life than nylon is. So just keep a closer eye on the nylon tippet, and if you guys have any questions on any of that stuff or what kind of leader would work best for you for the type of fishing you like to do, I encourage you to come in and see us and we'll help you out.